What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. I am Dalton, aka the Footlong Farmer. Those of you guys who do not follow me on TikTok or Instagram, do so now at the Footlong Farmer. And if you have not yet, hit the like and subscribe button on this video. This is the first video that we've made. I've been wanting to make this channel for a very long time, so I am very excited. We are a dairy farm located in Western New York. We milk registered Holstein cattle. It's a family farm. We just wanted to bring you guys along and show you the ins and outs of, what we do every day. Everything from working with our cows, to our crop work, to our shop work, to just, general maintenance. Anything that we do, I'm gonna try to get as much content as I can. My goal to start off with is at least 2 videos a week. So again, subscribe so you can see every video that I post. Really excited, guys, really excited. Been wanting to do this for a very long time. So, without further ado, we're gonna dive right into today's work. I'm gonna start by marking cows for the hoof trimmer. So we have a hoof trimmer come once every other week. So we go through cows, any cows that have problems or just, they might just be due for a general maintenance trim. We will get them marked, and then I will, well, not just me, the crew will sort them out. We'll take them down to our hoof trimming room, and the hoof trimmer will get them trimmed up for us. So follow along, guys. Again, super jacked up. This is awesome. Let's get it going. The pen that I'm starting in here is our dry cow pen. There shouldn't be a lot of sore feet in here, but every morning I scrape this barn, so I do know that there's one cow with a pretty good limp. I'm gonna make sure I mark her, but what I'm looking for is, cows that are just a little tender on feet, or if their nails are extra long, they're kind of close together in the middle, they start to curl around a little bit, that means they're due for a trim. So just kind of walking through slowly, watching the cows walk around here, and just keeping our eyes open, seeing what we can find. Like I say, I know there's one cow I got to mark. Other than that, it's just observing, looking around and seeing what we can find. You can see that cow on her hind right foot. I don't know if she's got a hairy wart or something, but she's favoring that hind right a little bit. This white cow's the same. I'm gonna get up there and get her marked. They're not bad, but if you get up close to them, you can see. So we're gonna get them done before they get out of hand. We got that pen all marked. The hoof trimmer's not gonna be here till after lunch. So we're gonna try to get some other odds and ends stuff done around the farm. Tell you what, it's gonna take some getting used to just carrying around a camera like this, but we'll get it. What I'm about to do now, so we've had 4 fresh cows today. Actually 4 heifer calves, so that's a pretty solid morning. But what we got is we've got the calving pens right here that butt up to our calving pack. So when the cows get close, we put them on the calving pack. And if they still don't look close when they're a few days before they're due, we'll throw them on there anyways. And then if we see one calving or one's having issues, we'll throw them into these little box stalls right beside the pen. But we like to clean them out after each fresh cow. Now, obviously, being that there was 4 this morning, probably 2 calved in each pen. So we're gonna get these cleaned out. We're gonna run down the other barn. I've got to get some bag shavings. Like to put down a fresh bag after we clean it out, and then usually a fair amount of straw ends up in there as well. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. What we would like to be doing right now is combining our wheat, getting manure out on the fields, but we're about half done. I don't know what the weather's been like everywhere else in the country, but here has been wild. We've had crazy rain. We've had like 4 inches of rain in the last week. Crazy winds. Parts of New York have literally had tornadoes touching down, that's crazy for New York. We don't ever have stuff like that happen. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Must be the global warming or something, but just crazy weather. Like I said, hopefully this wheat doesn't sprout. It was down to begin with, and I mean, we've been working at it for 2.5 weeks now, and we only do about 120, 130 acres. It's not like we have a lot, but it doesn't get dry enough to combine until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. By the time we get to combining, you get a couple trucks loaded, and you're lucky if you do that before you get a pop-up storm. We also, I mean, we've only got like 40 acres baled and brought home, so there's at least another 40 acres on the ground in rows that's just soaking wet. I mean, we just, like I said, every day we've gotten rain. I'd like to ted it, but there's really no point in tedding it until the top gets drier, until there's not rain in the forecast, which as of right now, there's rain in the forecast for today, but then we've got 4 or 5 days of sunny and 80s. So hopefully we can just, you know, things will get dry enough, we can just hammer out the rest of the wheat and get stuff baled and get to moving manure, because I've got a lot of manure to move around the farm. We move all our own manure. Once in a great while, we'll hire in a drag line to come in and help if the ground's close and we're real full. But for the most part, we move everything. We've got 1 truck, we've got a noon spreader, and we're able to get it all moved ourselves. But yeah, this weather's just been absolutely wild for this area. So for now, this will help us get caught up around the barns on this little stuff. We'll get feet trimmed, get heifers moved around, stuff like that, that we generally do pretty regularly, but it seems like every time we've had a chance, we've ran out to the fields to get the wheat baled, and this rainy day will help us get caught up on that kind of stuff, at least, I guess. But yeah, that's where we're at. Headed out to lunch now. It's been one of those mornings where we've just jumped from, you know, one thing right to the next, to the next, to the next. You work on something for 5 minutes, you get a phone call, you head to the next place. That generally tends to happen on these, you know, rainy days between cuttings, between different crops. But heading out to lunch with a good friend of mine right now. Gonna go through some stuff for the county fair. Since I was a kid, I've always been interested in trying to help out with the 4-H and the cow shows and all that. Never really had time. Got 3 young kids at home. One's only a couple months old, but I got a phone call from a good buddy who runs the open show down there. Wondering if I could help get together some sponsors. So gonna meet him for lunch and go through that and see what all that entails. But I'm kind of excited. That's something I've wanted to do for a real long time. So all in all, today's a good day. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a while. Did that last night, trying to make the first video. Wanted to be a part of the fair. You know, starting to get on board with all that, so it should be good. Should be good. So we'll see what we dive into this afternoon. Like I said, we got those cows marked for hoof trimming. I don't know if I will be over there helping with that, or if I'll be in the shop. We've got a 6420 John Deere that we traded in on a 9560R. Under the conditions that we fix what was wrong with it before we send it in. It's got some transmission issues. So that involved pulling one of the tires off, folding the whole cab up off. It was kind of enjoyable. I've never been a part of that kind of stuff before. So we dove into that, a lot of cleaning. It's amazing. You got a real clean tractor, you lift the cab up, wow, underneath them things can get real dirty. But like I said, we'll pick this video up after lunch, see what we're doing, and we'll go from there. From lunch, figured I'd show you guys this 6420. We just got the transmission pulled all out of it. and load it onto our mechanic's truck. He's gonna take it back to his shop and do it there. But real quick, just figured I'd show you guys what we got. So, 6420, 4-wheel drive with a cab. I've never seen a cab removal on this, but it's pretty cool. Got this little tool here that bolts onto the frame. You disconnect everything on the cab, put a socket on there and just crank, and it tilts the whole cab sideways, right up out of your way. And then down in here was the transmission. I had to undo the shaft from there, unbolt it, unhook all the lines, all the hoses, and it pulled right up out of there. It wasn't very big. Just hooked the forklift on it and lifted it up out of there. It's crazy. Like, something that drives that whole machine was, you know, yay big. It was only a few hundred pounds, a couple feet long. And our mechanic was telling us that's the same transmission that they put in the 7 Series Deers too. So that'll be nice. He's gonna take it to his shop, because to get that all tore apart, he said it's gonna take up benches and benches, just all the clutches and everything that are in it. You gotta spread them all out. So yeah, we're gonna go grease the combine, get the combine filled up with fuel. So we'll bring you guys along with there too. Again, this is all new, so bear with us. Here's our combine, John Deere 9500. Good old machine, simple old machine, but it is a pain in the butt to grease. There's a million different grease fittings hidden all up under all those shields. So we're gonna fill it with fuel, get it greased up. This is all the wheat we have left to do. Down at the bottom there, there's probably 35, 40 acres down there. You guys can see this straw is just, and it's just sopping wet. Once it dries out a little bit more, we'll come out with the tedders and get it all shook out. But yeah, wish we could have got this picked up before the rain, but the rain's just been coming so fast. It goes from sunny to just downpouring in literally minutes. This last time, we were lucky to get the trucks out of the field and under cover before the rain came. Grease gun's empty.
I heard that.
All right, let's try this again. The grease gun that actually has grease in it. You gotta be quite an acrobat to get at these ones.
Yeah.
I think my battery's dying. That's just how this is gonna go. Run out of grease, run out of battery. Oh. Be cool if I could at least get these 4 done.
You know, like almost batteries. I'm like, these should be charged enough. Bro, charged enough.
Yeah. You're gonna do it, aren't you? You're gonna die. Yeah. All right, well, that sucks. I suppose being them out of grease, let Tyler grease it. Now let's spray the chains. I was wondering if this stuff actually does anything. This machine, you gotta be a real acrobat. I mean, there's fittings up behind these pulleys you gotta be up on the tire to get to. Back in, you know, behind all this stuff, right up in the mess of it. Down in there, there's some. Makes the new ones with the auto greasers seem pretty desirable, but I always forget about these two because they look like bolt heads. Combine's all done. We got a phone call. There's an alley scraper with a bent. I'm gonna need to put it in forward drive. Alley scraper with a bent wing. So we're gonna go get that pulled out and get that fixed up. Assuming we don't need a tow out of here. Got the alley scraper pulled out, carried over here to the shop, and yeah, that's a pretty gnarly bend. That's supposed to be straight. It must have really caught on something good, because these are a pain to straighten back out. Like, it takes a lot of force to straighten that out. So I'm actually not sure why the shear pins on the drive unit didn't shear before that happened, or there's an overload, I don't know what it's called, code or whatever, that should trip the machine and tell it to shut off if it gets under too much pressure. I'd have to imagine that would have exceeded that pressure, because that's a gnarly bend. Now, to get that off, I think it's just, yeah, we got a bolt here. I'll get the pressure washer off and wash this off, but pop a bolt out and then just pound that pin out. The whole wing should come off. We'll take it in. We'll get the rubber scraper taken off, heat it up, throw it in the press, see if we can't get that straightened out. But that's a pretty wild bend. Like I said, it must have really caught on something good to bend like that. Now that that's clean, you guys can get a better look at this. So yeah, there's a bolt right here. It's just got a double nut up in there. So you pull this off. The purpose of this bolt is when the sled's going backwards, that stops that wing from coming too far in. Because if that wing comes too far in, when it goes to go forward, it'll just push the manure like this instead of folding back out. So all that bolt does is just keep the wing from going in too far. But one, the bolt's all rusted out and bent like crazy. So we'll get that pulled out, pound that pin out, see what we got. I suppose I could use a hammer. You know, I got one right here. Don't need a pound of the wrench. That's out. It's always amazing how easy they actually come out of there. So we got it over here on the bench. So there's 3 Allen screws on here. You pull them out, this piece of metal slides out, and then the rubber slides out. Let's see how this goes. I absolutely despise Allen heads, but I suppose that one came off pretty easy. And that one did too. This is a relatively new wing. I mean, it's still got the stickers on it, so. Yeah, that worked better than it almost ever does. So that's a piece of metal. Slides out, and the rubber slides off. Probably gonna pull these out, leave these over here so I don't booger them up when I'm pounding on this thing with a hammer to try to get it straightened out. That would be my luck. I would hammer right on one of those and ruin it. But yeah, there's the bend. Let's see what we can do. Now the first attempt, I'm gonna get it red hot right here and try to just bend it. Probably dreaming, but that's what we're gonna try. I'm gonna try it while I got the heat on. Doing a little bit. A lot of metal to get hot. Yeah. Toasted. Take it just a little bit more. Wow. Yeah, it's hot enough as it is. That's pretty true. Maybe I'll weld a piece of metal onto the back of that just to try to give that spot a little bit of extra strength. But yeah, straightened out. Does that look like it's about where we want it? Okay. Perfect. Solid. Pick up tools. All right, girlies, let's head down. Hey, girls. Let's go. So we're gonna walk them down the walkway. Right here, we got an area where the hoof trimmer sets up. Little tabs here. The sled sets down on them. It's shaped like an H, so whether you're going forward or backwards, either way it drags. Push it forward just a little bit. I got it. It's just like that. You can see where it was leaving manure down the side here because it was bent in and it wouldn't open all the way out. So that should help fix the problem. Better make sure this one's not bent. Yeah, see, that one's good. So that's another thing checked off the list. While we're walking through here, headed to the hoof trimming room. This is our main milk barn here. Holds around 650 cows. It was built in two different sections. This half here is the old half. I don't know, I think it was built in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then the other half's got newer style trusses in it. That half was built in like 2010, 2012, right in there, right before I met my wife. So when I first came out here, when I met her, this half of the barn looked like it was brand new. So now this is the main milk barn. Everything goes from the middle and it walks up this way. Up here is an alleyway, and that's the parlor barn right there. So that's where everything goes to get milked. So yeah, the parlor's right up there. And then this alleyway leads up to the barn that I was filming in this morning with the fresh cows and our dry cows. It's a concrete floor, but because of the slope, we put some sand down on it, clean it every couple weeks. But we just moved into this barn in December. So this barn is right new. Good other cow there. Yeah, this is the fresh group. We call it group 1. These are the only milk cows that are up in the new barn. We were a little worried about the slope because it's a little steeper than that one down there, but as you can see, the ladies walk right down it. Totally fine. So it's a good old cow there too. We'll head up here now and see if Jack's up here. That'd be my father-in-law. He's one of the partners that owns the farm. See what time the hoof trimmer's coming, I guess. It just keeps on giving. Got a couple cows sorted out for the hoof trimmer. Got a call. Loader's got a blown hose. It was a fun one, but we got it off. Now we get to run to town before they close soon. Now back with the hose. Head up the shop. Tyler and I'll get it thrown back on. I tell you what, it's a hot, muggy, sticky one out today. One of those days where your shirt's just soaking wet, you just smell like a bag of balls, kind of. What are you gonna do? I'm not complaining because I hate the winter, but yeah, it's one of, my face just soaked. It's soaked all day. So we'll go get this hose thrown back on. It's 4:30. Hoof trimmer's still not here, so he must have got caught up at the last farm. Hopefully he gets here soon. We got those 2 cows down in the hoof area waiting for him, so we don't want them to be in there. The nice thing is there is fans in there and there is a water right there, but yeah, it's too hot for animals just to be hanging out like that. So we'll get this hose done and then we'll head back up there and see how they're making out. Hopefully he's here. Got those 2 done by the time we get this hose done.
It's dripping.
Oh my God.
Oh, just painted my leg. I don't know. Kind of forgot it's gonna start running through the line here.
It's got a swivel on it, so when you're turning, wow, I thought my arm was stuck there for a second. Kind of panicked. I think it started.
Oh, it's definitely started, yeah.
Got the hose on. We're gonna top it off with hydraulic oil. I just wanted to point out how stupid it is to put hydraulic oil in this machine. Got to lift the hood up down here on the tank. Here, let me spin you guys around. Actually, down here on the tank, you gotta unbolt this whole cover to put oil in the machine. There's not just a regular fill pipe. Sight glass on the side's nice, but the fact that you gotta literally take 6 bolts off the cover, there's a spring underneath it that shoves it out at you just to put oil in the machine. Seems kind of dumb. All right, guys. Well, we got the loader all put back together, topped off with oil. I'm just running it down the bunks now. I think we're probably going to end this first video right here. The hoof trimmer just got here. It's 4:45. So he's probably just going to do those 2 cows and a couple other ones that are coming out of the parlor right now that got milked earlier. But we're not going to start trying to trim 20, 30 cows here today, this late in the day. His chute was overheating. That happens, especially when it's 86 degrees out. So picked a heck of a day to start a YouTube channel, honestly. I mean, it's been chaotic. I don't know if my video expressed how chaotic it really was, but I mean, from what we planned on doing when we started the day out to what we ended up doing were 2 very different things, which is generally how it goes. But hey, that's what I want this channel to be, guys. I want this channel to just be real life on the farm, chaotic, sweating, hot, you know. Some days are good, some days are rough. And like right now, it's 86 out. I just want to go home. That's part of it. It's when it gets this time of the day, you just want to call it a day. But we got to get those cows trimmed. You know, we'll run around, push up feed. Again, if you guys haven't subscribed, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have a good day.